Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Rodney Lewis. I recently founded my own agency, Sprints. I'll be sharing more about that later. But today I'm here to share with you guys my process on creating and refreshing on-brand stock photos, leveraging Midjourney, a little bit of ChatGPT. Let's get started. Yeah, and so we'll start with the intro, and then I'm gonna give you guys an overview of Midjourney. I think most of you guys have used it at this point, but I'm gonna be real one-on-one with this just in case you haven't. And then get right into the workflow demo, which should be the bulk of my presentation, and then Q&A, hopefully. So about me, Rodney, I'm from Oakland. I've been working for almost 9 years now, building B2B marketing websites. Previous companies I've worked at include Pindo, Care Fertility, Rebel Systems. And like I mentioned, I just founded my own agency, Sprints. And you can scan the QR code if you want to connect. All right, so we'll jump right into it. So Midjourney is pretty simple. Most of you guys should know what this is by now, but it is pretty much the easiest and most complex of the tools that I would say is available for people. And they're making an effort to move out of Discord, which should allow for a lot more possibilities with the tool. So the basics here, right? So imagine is the prompt that we use to feed Midjourney prompts, right? And so you describe what you want using Imagine, and it'll produce an image. You can also provide an image to Midjourney and use the describe prompt, right, to pull out the context of the image so that you can use that to improve your prompts moving forward. And so one of the big the web browser kind of makes it easier, but while it was in Discord, one of the big features that I think that people weren't using were the parameters. And with the parameters, it really opens it up and allows you to do a lot more than you've had with just the words that you can throw in there. And so one of the big ones, especially for designers, is going to be the aspect ratio. Chaos is pretty cool. It will allow you to change up increase the variability within the 4 squares that it returns on your initial prompt. And then one of my favorites is the style raw to just give you a more high res image. In general, I think the images turn out better when you style raw. And the big one, especially for on brand, especially if you want to try to create a scenario where it does appear like you conducted a whole photo shoot, you're going to want to learn character reference and how to use character weight. This ensures that you get the consistency of those characters throughout the images, essentially giving you AI models that you can use throughout the different photos that you plan on using on your website. And the demo that we get into is going to be very specific to websites. I know that people might want to use this for other marketing assets, and that's totally possible. My specialty is websites, and so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So this is an overview of the parameters. And so those are the super basics. I think that these, I'm going to call this 102. This is like the pro stuff that really will allow you to leverage Midjourney and start to get some super good results. I don't know if you guys are noticing this too, but this is a continuation of that original image that I was showing back there. This is with some variation and the prompt, and so you'll start to see how the characters here are a little bit different. But yeah, so like image prompting is really cool. So if I provided image, if I have a stock image that I want to start with, I can feed that to Midjourney and then reference that URL to maintain some consistency there, or just to kind of use as a starting point for the images that I want to go on to generate. The no is awesome because it allows you to exclude things. And so We're calling them hallucinations. The AI likes to hallucinate sometimes, and so you might end up with a cat in the middle of the office, which I guess in San Francisco isn't that weird. And then permutations are really cool. So this is probably one of the more advanced, this is the most advanced feature that I'm going to cover today, but it does allow you to create variations of the image that you're going to generate and do it in a single prompt, which leads us to batching, right? And so batching, as you can see here in the tile, this is all based off a single prompt, but using permutation, repeat, and some of these other advanced features, I was able to generate 12 unique images, all kind of based around a central theme, which will allow us then to, this is how I create the whole Photoshop or photo shoot effect. And if I did like some of these characters, I could use the character weight to lock that in. But this is how, ultimately, this is a process that's going to save us time, especially if you got a large project that you got a whole B2B website that could be 40 plus pages that you want to generate hero images for. Batching is going to be the quickest way to, get that started. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys this prompt that I started, or that I've actually worked on. Always cut and dry, drop the prompt in, and run away with awesome photos. There's most of the time you're going to need to tweak it. And so this is going to get us started. These are just some things. The Ultra 4K and photorealistic have been two things that I've used consistently that just makes, it cuts out a lot of the nonsense and makes it so that the hallucinations are more within range for me. And as you'll see, also I called out Style Raw, which is my favorite. The chaos level, chaos is cool. And then if you see underneath here, this is how we'll use permutations to vary the chaos level. So you'll see in the responses while we demo that each of the tiles is going to be distinctly different based on the amount of chaos that we've allowed for it. And then I just chose no windows, but we can play with that as well. And this R is one of my favorites. This is the repeat, and it allows it to then batch this up 3 times. Ultimately, this prompt is going to produce 12 different results for us to pick for our initial photo to then refine some more. And so, if you guys are ready, we will jump into the playground. It is demo time. All right. And so, does anybody have a brand that they would like to refresh the photos for? I have something that I've been playing with, but a little crowd participation would always be fun. Anyone? Yes, sir. Google. I feel like that one's gonna be anything niche. A company that somebody in the crowd may not work at. That is a little bit smaller, maybe.
I work for a startup called Pixel Dust.
Okay. We'll be able to find them online? No? Yes. All right. I'm gonna go with my stashed one here real quick, just to kick it off, and then hopefully we'll have time to, and hopefully we'll get to play with some of your guys' ideas as well. And so I will typically start. So one of the things that I think is critical, that's going to be super helpful for like any of this, is that, all right, so the brand that we're going to do is Envoy, right? Envoy's cool. They do a workplace management software. They've used these illustrations since the company was founded, and that was a very long time ago. And we're going to update them with some brand new photography. So we'll jump over to Figma, where I have some stuff laid out already. All right, and so what you see with a lot of this stuff is, it's going to be a lot of the same stock photo that we use, right? You've got people collaborating at an office desk, open floor plan offices showing modern tech offices, right? This is kind of what showcases their product the best. And so jump back over to images. And so, so sales team. Sorry, let me use my prompt. All right, so I copied my prompt over. I'm not sure that the permutation is going to work on the web, but we are going to try it. And so I do want to switch this up here. Let's switch this up. Does anybody have a suggestion for how we should switch this up as far instead of a marketing team we could showcase? No. All right. We'll pick HR team collaborating. A whiteboard and industry. Oh, it is slims to tech office. All right. Give us too many. I'll show you repeat later. No, we'll show repeat now. So anyway, yeah, I didn't think this was gonna work. All right, no permutations in the demo today. Sorry, guys. All right, and then, so we'll jump back, and as you can see, we've got 12 images being created right now. Let's hope we get something good. But I've excluded windows. We're using a 4:3 aspect ratio. And you guys saw the prompt. Starting to get some cool stuff. Hallucinations. They put the whiteboard illustrations on my man's shirt. I don't think that's bad. It's kind of giving Basquiat vibes, right? But this one, as you can see, like HSAs, which is specific to a HR team, which I think is pretty cool. And so we can take one of these versions that we like. All right. And so we've got, this one is cool. So we'll go ahead and subtle vary on this one. Oh, it's not going to give me. Tweak. Let's see if we can do some character reference real quick, guys. Okay, here it goes. And so can you guys see that? It's pretty tiny, but if you can see, I'm hovering over, this is actually kind of cool. But they've added the character reference into the GUI. And so whereas previously I'd have to see ref and then choose the character weight, now I can just jump over, like select the image and then choose from these options. And so we've got the character reference, we've got the style reference, which will copy the style of the image, and then the image reference. But we want to keep these characters. And so the crep is now replaced by that. And let's say enjoying lunch in open floor plan office. Out. Can't chaos. All right. And so each time you run the prompt, right, you're going to get 4 results. We can always use the R to increase that. I always like to start off with 12 or more, just so I can get mostly because it's going to give me different faces. And then from there, I can take the faces that I like and dive in further. All right, well, that's cooking up. Also wanted to show some of these reframe and like repaint. And so they've changed, I think it was just mask before, but this repaint is now replacing the mask here in the GUI. And so we could repaint, let's say we didn't like the Basquiat on my man's chest here. I could highlight over this. And we're just gonna random ones. And so I highlight over that, and then now I can make a call out. I don't know what exactly I switched, but let's just hope that this removes that off of his chest. Oh, and then with one of these other ones here, let's, hey, my lunch photos got done. Right, and so as you can see here, so we got, I think this is the one that we copied over, right? We got the guy with the beard, other guy with beard, but we're starting to see some of those same characters here. They did a really, really bad job with that one. But again, right, so this will give you photos. So say you needed a career page, a new hero for your career page, you can now start to play with the different prompts and environments using the character weight and get in some realistic results and keeping it thematic. I wanted to show one more, but I will open it up for questions, or if anybody has a suggestion or something else we can try, I would love to, continue showcasing things. That was limited by strictly my own imagination. And so I noticed that also, but what we can do, right? So we'll go ahead and very strong on that one, right? Oh, it's not letting me. I wish I worked at Midjourney so I could say that we'll be improving this, but unfortunately this isn't my product. But and so in Discord, what I would do whenever that happened, right, I would come over and hit the very, I would just run the prompt over, and I'll show you where I messed up. So you've got to be descriptive with Midjourney. It's super helpful for that. But so what we'll do is we'll just prompt it to give us some variation in the people. This one is always trippy. So I use multiracial, and it really gets like hallucination. Like the faces get trippy when I put multiracial. I'm gonna put multi-ethnic. Yeah. Wish us luck. All right, so yeah, but this should give us the right. I just didn't include it in the prompt, and so we'll go back through, and this will hopefully give us some wider range of faces and ages. And something like this is also really good to throw the repeat on because you'll end up with a bunch of different outcomes. I've been playing with Dolly.
Okay.
And today Dolly gave me some really good response. Like for the first time, I was actually really impressed with what I got back in Dolly today. So one of the things that I did notice, V6, I think if you're doing anything specific to creating Black people in AI, use V6. V5 doesn't do hair or like textures right at all. V6 for hair, hands down. There's a whole article on it, but V6 will get you way better hair textures that actually make sense. And then if you do want to do like illustrations, Niji, as one I say it's Niji, Niji. I think that one was created specifically for like anime, manga style images. But whenever I am doing something that I want more, whenever I do want more, like whenever I want illustrations, I use Niji.
So.
But yeah, let's see. Right, and so this like looks like something that you would get off of any of the stock photo sites, right? Like it's got. And this is almost like this is rivaling what we're getting out of Midjourney. And so I know that there's like different restrictions companies are going to have on what you can use, right? Midjourney, because it's in Discord, you're probably not going to be able to use it, which is one of the big pushes, I think, for them to like bring it into the browser, but the browser doesn't have all the features yet. But if you guys have ChatGPT approved, you can use Dolly. And this is pretty good. I mean, it's hallucinating a lot now that I'm noticing. But it's better than nothing. So I left off probably the most critical piece of this, right? Is that you always, unless you're doing like a blog photo, maybe like, you just need a cover photo for a blog article, right? Like and it spits out a decent result, you can use that. That's probably the only time I would just use what Midjourney gives me back. Every single time I'm going to jump into Figma or jump into Photoshop, make the edits, make the photo mine, and then use that photo in my final product, right? As far as rights, I'm a creator. I'm not really too great on like explaining this. I just know that I treat Midjourney like I would if I found any other asset online, right? It's like, oh, that's cool. This is good inspiration. Let me refine this, put my flavor on it, and then go forward with that. But I hope that answers your question. Oh, and then as far as uploading photos, if it's something that, so if you're working at a company and it's a photo that they do not want, this always gets tricky, right? Because it's a photo that was taken and it's gonna get put on the website, right? As far as Midjourney owning it, I don't think there'll be copyrights on that photo, so Midjourney wouldn't open it. But if it's something that you don't want to share, Discord was awesome because there was stealth mode, and so I could do some work in stealth mode, and then those results, like if when I was on my Midjourney feed, right, I have a bunch of stuff that I did in stealth mode yesterday that wasn't in that feed that you guys should have saw that you weren't going to see because the stealth mode keeps it private to my server. And so I had to create a server in Discord, invite the Midjourney bot, and on that server exist these photos that don't go back to Midjourney, if I'm understanding that right. But like I said, I just create cool things and then deal with the problems later.